Okay, did you know that Google actually didn't make their Google Pixel phones? Or Google Pixel camera is inspired by these old paintings? Or Google Pixel 6 sold more than Google Pixel 4 and Google Pixel 5 combined? And as much as we love or hate Google Pixel in India, here are 10 things that you didn't know about the Google Pixel which actually changed the smartphone industry forever. And the first one is really mind-blowing. Now number 10, we have this Google Pixel 1, the OG. And here, have a look on the box. The color name is quite black. Now if you go check the Google Pixel colors, the other colors were very silver and really blue. Which is funny, like Manu, guess the color name of this phone.
White.
It is Phantom White. And on the other hand, if you just check iPhone colors, Alpine Green, Sierra Blue, Jet Black. So ever since Pixel have launched, they have named the colors in a way to make fun of other smartphone colors. Like a black is a black. What's Jet Black, Space Black and Phantom Black? Even the latest Google Pixel 6 had sorta seafoam, kinda coral. Now this one term computational photography changed the entire smartphone industry. Before Google came into the picture, there was just one way to get better photos: have a bigger camera inside a phone. That's why we had bulky iPhones. Even the Moto X Hasselblad mod started up, which is like a whole big camera module on the back of a phone. But there was a small trick which Google Pixel saw. Smartphones had a really high-powered processor which is far better than a processor on DSLRs or cameras. So Google brought computational photography. So even before you tap the shutter button, the Google Pixel starts taking photos. And once you have hit this shutter, you will think you have taken one photo, but the Google Pixel took about 15 photos in the background. And then the AI would do its trick and pull out the best work. And Pixel 1 didn't even have a camera bump. And Google has been starting this huge trend in smartphone industries, and Google has been that company who does big things first. And even most of us, knowingly, unknowingly, do use Google products. So if you want to make money by investing in Google or any of your favorite US stock, you can use the IND Money app. But should you even buy US stock? Well, let me share a fun fact with you. Do you know that if you had invested 1 lakh in Google 10 years ago, it would be easily more than 10 lakhs today? This is because not only Google stocks has increased over the years, but the rupee has also depreciated in respect to dollar. But how do you invest in US stocks while sitting in India? Well, you can invest in US stocks using IND Money app. All of us in Team TechWiser personally use IND Money app to invest in US stocks. Number 1, 0 commissions on buying and selling US stocks. Number 2, free US stock account opening. Number 3, fully integrated experience in the app. Simply tap, select the stock, check the returns, and if you like it, buy it. Number 4, best part, you don't have to buy a full share. You can invest as little as 100 rupees. Of course, this shouldn't be taken as a financial advice, and you should do your proper research before investing. Now comes the best part. If you sign up on IND Money from the description link and create and fund your US stock account, you will get free Apple stocks, irony, worth rupees 1000 in your first deposit. IND Money also helps you invest in US stocks via SIP mode. You can set up your weekly or monthly SIPs with as low as 500 rupees. That said, again, full disclaimer, do your own research before investing in anything. Moving on. So back to the Google Pixel. Now to even make the Google Pixel camera sound revolutionary, DxOMark ranked Google Pixel as the #1 smartphone camera. Now in case you guys don't know, DxOMark is a benchmarking app for cameras. You can consider it like AnTuTu, which measures your RAM, GPU, CPU and gives a score. Same, DxOMark does that but for camera. And then started the whole wave of HTC, then Samsung and news media mentioning DxOMark scores everywhere. And now people don't remember DxOMark, but it was a big deal back then, the benchmark for camera performance. And the camera improvement didn't just stop at Google Pixel 1. Like for example, you take this Google Pixel 3 in a dark room and you take photo of this, like you can barely see anything. So you go here and you tap and it takes some time to click the photo, and once it's done, see, you get a bright image. And you would be like, Pratik, that's night mode. Well, night mode is now so common even in 10,000 phones, but night mode was actually started by the Pixel 3. It was called Night Sight. And at the launch event, they even compared the Pixel 3 image to iPhone XS, and the results were wow. The Google Pixel just takes 9 to 15 photos at different brightness level and combines them to have one bright and less noisy image. Now once that feature came out, every smartphone manufacturer brought it in like 2 to 3 years. And if you enjoy such type of tech content, make my face brighter by subscribing to TechWiser. Let's go. Now people normally believe that this Google Pixel was Google's first phone, but nah. Google has always tried making smartphones since they invented Android. Before Google Pixel 6, Google had Google Nexus series where it would collaborate with smartphone companies like Huawei, HTC, LG. Oh, by the way, anyone in Team TW who had an LG Nexus 5? Anyone? So companies would make the Nexus phone hardware and Google would design the software. And long before Nexus and the first Android smartphone HTC Dream came, Google worked on a secret Android phone called Google Sooner. It looked like a BlackBerry phone designed and manufactured by HTC to compete with BlackBerry. The software was made by Google, and when the phone was about to release, the iPhone was dropped by Steve Jobs.
Are you getting it?
A touch screen phone which was a revolution in smartphones. In fact, the founder of Android, Andy Rubin, was in car during the iPhone launch. He stopped his car and called the Google office, and then Google dropped the entire plan of a keyboard Android phone. Google also moved towards a touch-based Android system like today. You can touch it. And then they launched the first Android phone by HTC as the HTC Dream. But the first phone made by Google will always be the Google Sooner, which was never released. Now, after the Nexus series, Google started making their own hardware in phones, Google Pixel. Well, sort of. Google Pixel have always had two variants, normal Google Pixel and Google Pixel XL, which is also called Pro these days. Now, the first Pixel and Pixel XL was made by HTC. But the next year, the premium Pixel 2 XL was made by LG. So two different companies, LG and HTC, made the hardware for Google Pixel phones. Until 2017, Google bought the HTC smartphone division in like $1.1 billion. And now that HTC division manufactures the Google Pixel. And even though Google Pixels are widely celebrated and loved by everyone on the Android community, Google Pixels never sold really well. Up until Google Pixel 6. Now Google never released the exact numbers, but Google Pixel 4 sold only 2 million units in like 6 months. And just for perspective, iPhone sold 240 million units globally in the same year, which is like if 240 people bought iPhone in 1 year, only 2 bought a Google Pixel. But up until Google Pixel 6, Google Pixel 6 has sold more than Google Pixel 4 and Google Pixel 5 combined. We'll wait for the exact numbers, but this thing seems like a hit. But there's one thing Google Pixel has done from the start. Like here are some printouts of different phone cameras, some Pixels, some iPhone, some Samsung. And let's see if Team TechWiser can identify the Pixel photo in them.
I think this is a Pixel. Okay. Pixel photo. I think right one is Pixel.
Okay.
Left one is Pixel. Right one is Pixel. Right one is Pixel.
I will come to this later on. This one is definitely Pixels. Pixel, I'm putting it here. Very tricky. I will come back to this. This is Pixel. Right side is Pixel. Nah. So in these three, it's very difficult to say which one is Pixel.
So you were right like 4 out of 5 times. One was wrong. So this is like a mix of...
Which one is wrong?
That one.
Banal.
So the left one is Pixel, the right one is Samsung.
Really?
Even I was surprised.
Well, I use Pixel. Pixel takes more contrasty photo like this. This shadows is more dark and this photo is look. I think this one is taken from iPhone. See.
Anything yellow is an iPhone.
Yeah.
Conclusion क्या है?
So finally.
So you won and here is your gift hamper.
Let's check. Let's open it. Dude. It's fake money.
So Google Pixel have this contrasty dark look which is inspired by Caravaggio paintings. In case you don't know, Caravaggio was an Italian painter. Now here are some Caravaggio paintings and you see they are so contrasty, dark and so sharp shadows. Same, the Google Pixel camera team thinks that this contrasty and dark photos make the photo look lively, 3D and not flat and boring. And finally, the last thing which Pixels changed in the smartphone industry is portrait mode. So you take your phone, click Manu's photo in portrait mode and this smooth blur that you see around him is fake and done by AI. It is called portrait mode. Long before the first Pixel came, iPhone, Samsung, everyone did portrait mode with 2 cameras, a main sensor and an ultra-wide or depth camera for background. Yes, depth cameras existed long before. But Google Pixel was the first phone to do portrait mode with a single camera and then everyone jumped on it. And now even 30, 25,000, even 10,000 phones have portrait mode with just one camera. Now, I've always felt that the vision of Google Pixel was to improve whole Android ecosystem. And as you saw, Google Pixel did bring a lot of changes in the smartphone industry. And we like discussing such stories with you. This was sort of an experiment video. Let me know if you liked it. 6,000 likes and we do some more of these. And this is Vidhi signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew. Pew.